What are the top 5 best modern smartphones from Nokia? You guys seem to enjoy the last video I did, which covered my favorite Nokia phones of all time. So in this video, I just wanted to focus on the modern phones released after 2016. And once again, this isn't a scientific analysis about how the phones are the best on paper or based on how well they sold or managed benchmarks. Here, it's all about my very biased opinions and my own preferences. And you all know how much design means to me personally and how it affects my choices. Anyway, without further ado, here are my top 5 best modern Nokia phones. Number 5, Nokia 7 Plus. This one is pretty easy to include. I never personally owned it, but it offered a competitive spec sheet in a really unique design for a good price. And I can understand why some consider this the best Nokia phone released under HMD. Number 4, Nokia X10. This one might cause some confusion in you, and I can understand that, but I really think the Nokia X10 is an awesome phone. For a start, I love that forest green color, which to me might just be the best color ever on a phone. It also feels nice in the hand and very solidly built. And I think it puts most phones released in that price range to shame in that regard. And I understand it's made out of plastic, but not all plastic is created equal. And even though the X20 is a better phone, I don't feel like it justifies the price difference when it comes to how much of an upgrade it is. Number 3 is the Nokia 8.3. The 8.3 might have been delayed for way too long, and I can understand why some might not consider it very competitive in terms of price, especially when you take a quick glance at the spec sheet. But there are very few premium mid-rangers that offer a better build and a nicer design. It definitely looks and feels way above its price point. And it also has really capable cameras on the back. And truly global 5G support, which you just don't find within that segment. Unfortunately, it was released in a very tricky segment, and there are barely any premium mid-rangers left anymore. Number 2 is the Nokia 8 Sirocco. The Nokia 8 Sirocco was another victim of the by-the-numbers crowd. And yeah, I know it came with a 1-year-old processor at the time, but it's not like the Snapdragon 845 offered any significant and huge improvements over the 835. I know this will get on the nerves of some of you, but it is absolutely true. And the 8 Sirocco pushes the absolute limit in phone design. It has a super thin stainless steel frame which is somehow chamfered, a glass front and back that is curved at a ridiculous angle, and a very compact form factor that makes it quite special amongst its flagship peers. This is a phone that I loved owning, and it's a stunner in real life despite its flaws. And my number 1 is the Nokia XR20. Not gonna lie, the XR20 stole my heart from day one. It's a modern-day smartphone that embodies the legacy of great Nokias of the past. It isn't a device that will top any charts, but its practical approach to features and carefree ownership experience, while managing the impossible task of being nicely designed and somehow indestructible, is something that I truly admire. Every time I switch to another phone, I can't wait to go back to my XR20. It's certainly not perfect in every regard, but I love that it exists and it understands exactly what it wants to be. It's certainly not perfect in every regard. For example, the imaging sensor could have been better and it could have been a bit more powerful, but I love that it exists and I love that it understands exactly what it wants to be. And honestly, I can't wait for its successor. I have 4 honorable mentions that didn't make my list. Nokia X71, which I think looked amazing, but unfortunately wasn't released worldwide. Nokia 8.1, which was almost perfect, but I would never personally put a phone with such a notch in my list. I know, petty reason, but it's personal. Nokia 6.1 Plus, which got a lot of things right for a very competitive price point. And finally, Nokia 9 PureView, which is one of the most flawed devices I've ever used, but when that camera system works, it's magical. Anyway, that's my list, and I would love to hear from you. So let me know in the comments down below, what are your 5 favorite modern Nokia phones? And you can check out my top 5 favorite Nokia phones of all time here, or check out my nostalgia video talking about the Nokia N9. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.